Point of call is the Du Bois Memorial Center for Pan-Africanism.
Our souls would have shrunk and our spirits shriveled. Our manhood would have withered and our wombs warped if we had forgotten Africa. But we remembered always that homeland, considered often its simpler joys, and with unfettered hearts and unshackled minds, told our freedom in lullabies. And the words of our swollen lips and the meditations of our burdened hearts seemed acceptable in God's sight.
On this occasion of Emancipation Day, the Vice President, Professor John Atta Mills, on behalf of government and the people of Ghana, honors the memory of Dr. Nkrumah and Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. Emancipation did not end with abolition of slavery. Great Pan-Africanists like Dr. Du Bois, Dr. Nkrumah, George Padmore, and Marcus Garvey sought to unite and uplift the dignity and the image of Africans the world over. Marcus Garvey's advocacy for repatriation to the motherland is today more relevant than ever before. And what better platform to re-echo it than on Emancipation Day?
We can now move forth into a Pan-African reality, but that reality must be based upon at least three sound fundamental principles. There must be an economic foundation to everything we do in terms of Pan-Africanism. We have to find a formula for unifying the richest continent in the world with the richest people in the diaspora, Africans by the hundreds of millions in South America, in the Caribbean, and in America, who have wealth, who have power, who have training, but who have to bring that forth to work for Mother Africa, laying the foundation for a world Pan-African union.
Ghana saw the light years ago, during the days of President Nkrumah. Even today, we are still reaching out to our African brothers and sisters in the diaspora to come back home with their knowledge and resources to help develop the continent. In all his trips to cities of the world where Africans have been dispersed, President Rawlings has stated in unambiguous terms Ghana's stand on repatriation.
No African country has a moral right or should consider it ethical to shut the door to any black African in the diaspora.
But there is one truth that has to be told if repatriation is to be of benefit to the continent.
I am saying that without the skills and whatever little investment you can bring in, you will only be compounding the poverty of that continent. And this is why I think it's important that you equip yourself with the necessary skill, the necessary technology.
President Rawlings' meeting with a cross-section of African Americans was a great experience.
President of Ghana, who I heard, nobody has to tell me he said it. I don't have to think it was a rumor. I've heard him say, African Americans, come home. He has made it clear.
Ghana continues to reach out to and embrace Africans in the diaspora. We urge them not to forget their roots. Though our history might be a sad one, we should never forget the past. So on this occasion of Emancipation Day, we remember the brutalities, torture, inhumanity, and pain that our ancestors went through on the long and arduous journey to the so-called New World. Such reminders, no doubt, will reawaken our consciousness and make us rededicate ourselves never to accept slavery in any form or guise and sustain our struggle for total freedom and independence. Some people have asked, Why bring the remains of people who died over 100 years ago for reinterment? For many Africans, especially those in the diaspora, this is a reverential homecoming. A homecoming which is both symbolic and tangible. An event which will create a realistic bridge for brothers and sisters in the diaspora to reconnect with the homeland. Ghana mourns her two ancestors. We mourn all who were torn away from their loved ones, all who were taken away against their wish into slavery. "400 years of shackles, 400 years of the slave master's whip, 400 years of toiling in the plantations and building the cities and industries of the slave masters. Today, the descendants of the enslaved demand recognition.
Reparations needs to be sung. The gong gong needs to be beaten all around the world. For those of us who are African descendants, we are owed a price for the mothers who had to stay in those slave dungeons 3 months, who had to go into the chambers with the governors, who had to sleep with them, who had to be on the plantations and be raped to create another race or a heightened race of people. We are owed our due. We never received our 40 acres and a mule. They haven't even apologized.
Promante Abanze are twin fishing villages.